Hey everybody, I'm Kelcie and this is Cassidy and Katie. And thanks so much for coming to our YouTube channel where we talk about the course Write Your Way to Freedom. A lot of people have a lot of questions and we have three different unique answers from three people who have actually taken the course, which is more than we can say about 90% of the people on Reddit. So we hope that you find this information helpful. Feel free to browse all of our questions, which you can find in the notes below. And if you have any other questions that you have, feel free to leave them and we'll try and get to them in one of our next recordings.
So the first question is, how long did it take you to get through the course? And I'll start with my response. So I bought the course in December 2018, and I knew when I bought it that I was moving cross country and would not have a job at the end of February. So I bought this course knowing that I had like 3-ish months to really lay a strong foundation and get through as much of it as I could. It also happened to work in my favor that I was an academic advisor at a university that typically shuts down for 2 weeks during the holidays. So I bought the course in December 2018, and then those 2 weeks that I had off when I wasn't working, I just woke up every morning and treated it almost like school. Like I grabbed my coffee, I sat down at my laptop, and for at least 5 hours a day, I was working through the course videos, doing whatever homework was assigned with each module, and just getting as much done as I could because I knew once work kicked back up in January, I just wouldn't have as much time to get through it. And that time really allowed me to get all of the basics in place. So I was able to pick my niche, create some goals for like what I wanted to achieve in my copywriting business. I was able to build my website, build my portfolio, so that when I moved to the West Coast and ended my job, the only thing that I needed to start doing was cold emailing. And then within just a few weeks of cold emailing, I was able to land my first client. And it's because I had laid such a strong foundation in those first few weeks. So in all, it took like 2 to 3 months to get up and going for me. But honestly, that was way quicker than I intended because I had like a firm deadline of I'm moving and I need to get this done.
Yeah, and Cass, I think bringing up that you sat down for like 2 weeks is kind of important to pull out here now too. Because like how many modules were there in 2018 when you were taking it versus how many modules people are getting now when they
Oh
sign
my
up for
gosh,
the course?
there were like 10 modules, like it was nothing.
And now there's like way more courses. So in the realistic scheme of things, doing it in set out 3 weeks to like try and get through all the information at least, because yeah, it's grown a lot since then, I imagine, because it's grown a lot even since I started in 2021. I feel like there are still courses that I'm like, whoa, I still need to go back in and take that or retake that because I'm finally ready to take some of the more advanced courses that they've added.
Yeah, like to me, when I say that I got through the course in 2 or 3 weeks, it was just getting up to the point where all I needed to do was start cold emailing and like actually getting the work. Like I had laid the foundation during that time, and then I was ready to do the things that would actually get me money.
That's amazing. And Kelsey, you went through yours really fast too.
Yeah, I did mine in about a month. And when I say I
Yeah.
did mine in a month, it was like from like starting the course until launching my website and also having my first client, like my first paid client too.
That's
So
incredible.
it was really fast and furious. I'm like a pretty intense person though. When I decide I want to do something, I want it to be done like yesterday. And if you haven't listened to basically our origin stories of how we ended up in Write Your Way to Freedom, I had missed the boat to like get in with Cass and Katie like way earlier. And so I felt like I was 2 years behind too, was I think another driving factor of it. But I finished it really quickly. And if you do end up deciding to sign up for the course, if that's something that you're considering as you watch this, I did create a calendar for other Write Your Way to Freedomers. So that way they can follow exactly what I did to complete the modules that were available when I started. And so it breaks out like, this is what I did each day. And it's like, these are the modules that I took. This is the handwriting copy that I did on that day. It kind of lines up with the 30-day hand copywriting challenge. And then it would be like, and okay, now it's time to launch your website. Now it's time to find like a client who will be a testimonial for you. Now it's time to start pitching. And so you can really like follow my exact trajectory if you want to. There's a calendar floating around somewhere in the group.
That's amazing. I love that you did that.
I know, it's such a sweet resource.
I know.
I just feel like the group has given me so much that I was like, what are the little valuable things that like I can add in? And that was something that I was like, oh, this is so easy for new people. I saw so many new people being like, how do I get through the course fast? And that was the easiest way for me to be like, here you go, 1 month, like, good luck. So
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, there are so many modules in there, and even though the course is, like, the most comprehensive course I've ever come across, like, literally anything you need to know about copywriting, you can find in there, but whenever you first join, it can be a bit overwhelming, so to have kind of this blueprint for, "Here's how to get up and going in a month," like, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that's amazing. Um, I definitely had different circumstances than you guys and took more time to get through it. I was at home almost full time with when I first started, I was at home full time with my daughter because she wasn't quite 3 yet and wasn't in preschool. So we had a family membership at the Y, which came with up to 2 hours of childcare every day. So I would just like schlep little Isla into the Y and put her in childcare. And then instead of working out, I would go sit in the lobby with my laptop and my headphones and squeeze 2 hours a day in of doing the course. And then, so that was like the course modules. And then when she'd take a nap in the afternoon, I would like have just some quiet because that's key for everyone who's been at home with children. Nap time is like a sacred thing. But then if it was like a hand copy challenge or something that was like a little bit more me putting in the work, then I would do that either in the afternoon or in the evenings. I didn't like set out to work in the evenings, but honestly, I was just like so excited about all the things to do and getting to build my website and doing all these things that it was really fun. I mean, so I spent probably all in all about 2.5 months, I would say, from like start to like finishing that last module. And then, like I said, I bought the course mid-October, started cold emailing in January. So it was a little bit slower process for me, but it was still really steady. I would say probably 5-6 days a week, I was putting in at least an hour and a half into the course, but it never felt like school, like something I had to do. It was like something new and exciting to learn every day, which I loved.
I think too, I've heard Sarah say multiple times, like the people who take the information slowly, like really absorb it, tend to be the ones who really like take off once they start moving versus the people that are just trying to like crash through everything as fast as they can. Like maybe Cassidy and I did a little bit, that you have such like a solid foundation that when you do decide to jump, like you're really able to springboard off of that information. Did that feel like that was the case when you finally got everything up and going for you?
I think because I'd been so immersed in it so consistently, I had time to like kind of let everything take hold and soak in. I'm not a like just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks person. I feel like I have to really feel rooted and like knowledgeable about what I'm doing before I'm going to put it out into the world. And so for me and my personality type, it was really important to like follow it step by step and do all the things. And like if it was a module about learning how to write this type of copy, then I had to like stop at the end of the module and write the type of copy. So I think even more than the speed, I think it's just that balance of like learning and then doing and learning and doing and like applying it as you go rather than just like approaching it like a binge of a podcast and then getting to the end and being like, okay, now what? I think that's where people get stuck. And so I think whether you have 6 hours a day or 2 hours a day or a single hour a day over lunch, you know what I mean? But like doing part learning and part application, I think is probably the most important part.
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite things about initially building my business with Write Your Way to Freedom, because the way Sarah has structured all of the modules, it's like you learn one step and then you implement it. And then you learn another step and then you implement it. So there's not like this information overload going on, because it's like you just learned this one thing and now you're going to do this one thing, and that's all you have to focus on in that moment. And then you get those quick wins and they just motivate you to like keep going, and it's so exciting. And then at the end you have a business, but all you do is focus on like one small thing at a time.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I realized that I didn't mention in my story, that's probably a good thing for us to mention, just to hit on all the differing demographics that we have. I was still at my 9 to 5, like when I finished this in 30 days too, that I realized that I was like, when you were like, I went down to the Y and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I was still working like full time. So it was just a lot of, those late nights and like long lunch breaks. And hopefully, I mean, sorry, past bosses, I got all my work done. Nobody was mad at me. I got a promotion in that time too. And also I was just like building a business on the sly when I had time, and was lucky enough to be working from home because of the pandemic. But yeah, it's kind of that. And I think that's really the perk of the self-guided pace, is that you can do it in whatever time that like you need to, which is kind of like the epitome of Sarah's course, is like you make it what you need it to be, right?
Totally. I think both in the course itself and then in your business. Like, I love that there are people here who've just like made bank and figured out how to like bring in tens of thousands of dollars a month. And then there are other people that are like, I want $2,000 a month for fun money to like travel or whatever. And like, it's whatever you want it to be. Same with the going through the course. I love that.
Thanks so much for tuning into our video today. I'm Kelcie, and this is Katie and Cassidy. And together we talk about what it's like to be in the program Write Your Way to Freedom to help you determine if it's the right fit for you or not. If anything from the videos today resonated with you or made you decide like, yes, this is it, I want to sign up, it would mean the world to us if you used our referral code. For full transparency, we do get a little bit of a monetary kickback every time somebody signs up that we split between the three of us. And we also make a $100 donation to World Central Kitchen, which you can find out more information on via the link in our notes. So thanks so much for tuning in, and check out the rest of our questions. We've probably answered the one that you have. Bye.